everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello, if you're new here, it's lovely to have you and I hope you choose to stick around and subscribe. It's completely free, entirely up to you, and it just means I pop up in your subscription boxes every time I upload a new video. On to today's video, and it is of course Nellie's second birthday. We had the party yesterday, which you would have seen a tiny bit of footage in the previous vlog. Today we are off to Plymouth Aquarium. We're running slightly late, so I'm going to get cracking and hit the road.
The fishes.
They swimming. Do you see them down there? They're called stingrays. Mummy used to pretend that they're flapping. So many fishies.
What's that, Baba? What's that one?
She says it's dolphin. Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
It's Daddy Shark, is it?
It says in this cabinet is a swordfish, shark jaw, and so that's the shark jaw and that's the fin. It's like a sword.
Uh-oh. Oh, sorry, it's gone under. It's swimming. So many fishes. You've got more fishies. Yeah, you've got to wait a minute. The boat's gonna. Oh! Up you get. Wow, I look pasty. I didn't realise I looked so pale. Anyway, as you can imagine, it is a few days later now, and I thought I'd just round this video off by firstly explaining something, because despite the fact that I had planned for Plymouth Aquarium to be like a nice 2 to 3 hours out, it took over an hour. I think it was meant to be like an hour and a half to get there, and so back to like 3 hours traveling, so it was going to be a nice rather lengthy day. I was hoping that we would get to Smith's toy shop on the way home before it shut, because it was a Sunday, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder if we'll even get a chance to, you know, really thinking it was going to be this long day out. And basically what happened was well, first of all, we were late leaving, as I think I mentioned in the intro. We were about 45 minutes late leaving, which meant that we would just make it for our booking. I booked for the first available slot, me being me, not thinking that the morning was going to take so long. But we all had like cuddles in bed, as we do most mornings, and then did Nellie's breakfast, and she just took an age to eat it. And we didn't prep the night before, so that didn't kind of work out well. So for various reasons, we were all made ourselves a bit late, which was a shame. So it meant that we were going to get to the car park pretty much on our booking. You know, no big deal, absolutely fine. Get on the motorway, everything's all hunky-dory. And then up in front of us, there had obviously been an accident. We weren't sure if it was an accident or a flood. It wasn't until we got home that evening that we realised that it was an accident. But anyway, one of the junctions was shut, so we had to come off, and the sat nav didn't really know what it was doing. So Ash was like, well, I'll just take you up past work, through the back of like Tiverton, back into Exeter and back on the road. It wasn't that much different to, I think, the detours that they were actually trying to get you to go on anyway. However, the road was super windy. I kept feeling sick at numerous points. I don't travel that great. At the best of times, I'm sitting in the back with Nellie because on long journeys, that's what we do. So I wasn't feeling my best. And then all of a sudden, Nellie lets out this like strange noise. I suppose you could say like a cry maybe. And then she's puking up. Out of nowhere. She's never ever been sick in the car seat before, other than like baby sick, which I don't really count as sick because that can, you know, happen for numerous things. But yeah, she was sick, and my God, she was sick. It was everywhere and it stank. It's the first time really that she's had like sickness. The last time she was sick was a couple months ago, where she'd got herself so worked up from crying because she was having a tantrum that she threw up all over my mum. Oh, my builder's back. Apologies, I'm living on a building site at the same time as all this. So yeah, that was that. I don't even know if I'm going to get to continue this story right now because I think they're going to load up the van again. But we're going to persevere. I may have to change location slightly. Who knows? But yeah, it was everywhere. It was absolutely hammering it down because, of course, this was the weekend where most of the southwesters ended up flooded. Yeah, we were trying to, well, I say we. Ash was trying to strip Nellie off so that we could put her into her spare set of clothes. Thankfully, she was in her pyjamas at this point because I thought we'll just change her when we get down to Plymouth, thinking we'd have plenty of time, because she's gone through a phase where she's in the next size up nappies. They're not quite tight enough yet, but the other ones were too tight. She's kind of in between sizes, and she tends to get a little bit of a leak. So I thought I won't put her in her pretty outfit for the day until we get down there. So thank God I did that. But it did mean we did not have a spare set of clothes, which as a parent can sometimes be a little bit testing. But we were stood like roadside. We were in this like abandoned pub car park, and it was absolutely hammering it down. And I tried to help to sort out Nellie, and straight away was Nellie sick myself. So Ash was like, you go over there, don't look, don't breathe it in. I don't even know what that is on my nose. Don't breathe it in, you know, just don't look. I'll sort it out, I'll give you a call when it's all off and we can put the new on. So that's what we did. Of course, it was all in the car seat, like it stank in the car. Which, as a side note, I never realised how difficult it would be to take the covers off of a car seat and put them back on like after washing. I never knew it was so difficult, but my God, I really hope she does not make a habit of this, because yeah, it's not happening. I'm gonna have to move because they've just started the digger again. Hang on one sec. You are probably still gonna hear some banging about, but I literally can't do anything about that. No, at the other side of the house. So yeah, it was interesting, should we say that? But I think because of that, Nellie was very clingy. She just wanted cuddles. In reality, if we were closer to home, we probably would have just come home. But we persevered and we were like, no, we're going to go for a day out. Even if we're there for like an hour, 2 hours, like it is what it is. It might be that thing that it was just travel sickness and she might perk up a bit. Like, you just never know with toddlers, do you? So yeah, that is pretty much why we ended up spending an hour there. We had a little look around, and don't get me wrong, Nelly was interested in quite a bit of it. She was frightened when the stingrays and sharks were coming towards you in like the half, I don't know what you call it. It kind of curves up round. It's not a full tunnel, but it kind of like, you can sit down, and you would have seen the footage anyway. We were sat there for quite a while. I think we sat there for about like 20 minutes because I really wanted to see the turtle. That's what I was waiting for. And yeah, like she was frightened of that a little bit, but other than that, she was quite interested in it. But at the same time, I think because she'd been cooped up and then she wasn't feeling very well, we got so far around and all she wanted to do was climb up on like the little steps that they've got so you can see into the tanks and jump off of them. And obviously by this point it was really, really busy, you know, we're getting on to lunchtime really, and it just wasn't safe for her to do that. Sadly, the soft play is closed there. Not that I would have booked it anyway, because Nelly doesn't normally like soft play. But soft play is closed for the foreseeable. The outside picnic area was closed. I don't know if that's due to the weather or if that's like a permanent closure as well. I'm not 100% sure. But we spent, I'd say, about an hour, hour and a half there, so a lot shorter than what I thought it would be, but I kind of expected it under the circumstances that we found ourselves in. We did have a quick little look up round the coast. Again, you would have seen the clip of us waiting to go across the bridge because there was a boat coming in, and then just as that boat had finished, then another boat come in, and I just thought, I'm literally going to be stood in this little spot with a toddler that did not want to stand in that little spot for ages. And believe me, it felt like ages as well. But we had a quick little look because we've actually got a wedding along the seafront. Is it a seafront, the coast? I don't quite know what you call it there. We've got a wedding coming up along there, so we kind of wanted to see the venue and where we're going and how far the walk is and things like that. So we did that a little bit, but we didn't go exploring anymore because the weather wasn't that great. Don't get me wrong, it looked beautiful in that video, but about 3 minutes later it absolutely hammered it down, and we were very grateful that we weren't stood by Smeaton's Tower at that point, that's for sure. We didn't want to look around the shops. Nelly wouldn't have looked around the shops anyway. We're not in that stage anymore, sadly. We had like a little mini day out, I guess you could say. We walked down to like a little marinery bit that's right by the aquarium because I just really wanted a cup of tea, and I know they have got a cafe inside, but by this point it was heaving. We just wanted to get out of there. So we looked for a little place, and there was like a little stand that did like hot dogs, burgers, cold drinks, hot drinks, and I was like, perfect. So I had that walking back to the car, then popped to Smith's because that is in Plymouth as well, and picked up the trampoline, which you would have seen Nelly bouncing on it. I've wanted to get one for so long because I just feel like she needs something to burn that energy, and she loves bouncing on the bed, she loves bouncing on the sofa, and I just think it's an accident waiting to happen. And I've mentioned it before, I think during Vlogmas, but during the stay in plays that we do for the toddler sessions, especially like the Santa one, she just basically spent the whole time jumping up and down on the trampoline, and I thought, I know she's going to like it. So yeah, we caved and bought one for her birthday. So that was like her main present from us for her birthday, which was really sweet. And she's played with it every single day, and most mornings she'll like have her milk and cuddles in bed, and then like a little bit later on she'll go downstairs and that'll be the first thing she goes on, and has like a little jump around for a bit, and then has her breakfast, and then goes back to it a bit later, and then goes back to it like before bed. So I definitely think it was a worthwhile investment. But yeah, so this vlog was a lot shorter apart from my ramblings of what I thought it was going to be, but I thought I would just quickly run through a couple of things for you. Now, this is prices correct as of January 2026. I know we're in February now, like I say, it's a few days later, but I thought I would do it anyway, just in case you're wondering. So for adults, it is £26 per person. Children aged 3 to 15 is £16 per person, and under 3s go free. So Nelly got in for free, which is a blessing in disguise. Now, the reason I'm not too worried that we didn't look around it loads is because you actually get an annual card, so we can go back now as many times as we want within the 12 months, and I know we're going to go back to it this time. I said this last year and we never got there, but we're determined to go back this year and really get our money's worth, especially because we didn't get to do like the full day out experience. We didn't get to listen to any of the talks, not that you really can with a toddler, but like seeing them being fed or things like that. Like, we didn't get to do any of that. We did stop off at the gift shop, which you kind of can't miss. You have to walk through it to get out. That is a little like tip, just bear that in mind. You do have to walk through the gift shop to get back out of the aquarium, so be prepared. But to be fair, Nelly didn't actually want anything, and we both said we would get her something in the aquarium gift shop, and she's obsessed with baby shark and all things like that, and I thought, oh, she'll get a little shark. But she was like, no, night shark, and put it back. I was like, oh. So in the end, we did get her a fish and a shark, and she has played with them loads. They're only like little soft toys. She has played with them loads. I think she's actually playing with them now as we speak, to be fair. I can hear her saying baby shark, so I'm guessing so. The one thing I really do like about the gift shop is that it is all very themed and very well thought out. Everything is to do with aquariums, to do with fish, to do with conservation. Obviously, it is the National Marine Aquarium, I think that's what it's called. If it's not, I'll correct myself on screen. And it is also home to the charity as well. So a lot of funding is needed to look after our seas, do conservation, find out, like, do studies and find out new things that we didn't know. In the time that I've been going there, they've discovered new things. And I find it so interesting that there's things that we still don't know about something so vast as the oceans. But yeah, so the gift shop is helping with that, which is great. But like I say, it's all well thought out. There's none of this, like, you know, when you go to some gift shops and you just think, why on earth is there this like pile of crap, basically? They're doing it to like draw the kids in so that you spend the money that you really don't want to spend, whereas this was all nice stuff. Like, it was things that were reasonably priced, but you didn't mind buying because it was like a memento of the day, or it just in some way was connected to the aquarium theme. So yeah, highly recommend. Like I say, once you've booked once, you can go back as many times as you want within the 12 months. They do recommend that you pre-book, and you can obviously pre-book your first visit, and you can also pre-book your return visits, like your free visits, on the website as well. So all you've got to do is like show your card when you go there, but you do realistically need to pre-book your slot if it were. They weren't that fussy that we were late. I mean, by the time Sipgate happened, we were probably averaging about an hour late by that point, and they didn't even qualm the fact that we were an hour late at all, so that was nice. They didn't, nothing was said on that score whatsoever. So it's not the end of the world if you're slightly early or late for your booking. I think it's just to try and manage the expected numbers at the time. Whether that changes and maybe I just had a really nice member of staff, I don't know, or she just wanted to get through the queue of people that were there, who knows. But it definitely alleviated my stress somewhat, because I was so worried that I was going to turn up and then them turn us away. So yeah, definitely pre-book, because I know that people do get turned away if they haven't got a booking. You can go in there if you haven't got a booking, but if they have taken too many bookings for that day, then you will either be turned away or being told to come back at a certain time, which, you know, in a nice way could be 3 o'clock, and then you're rushing around before it closes. So yeah, definitely pre-book. Highly recommend going. It's such a beautiful aquarium, so many things to see, and you can really get up close with them as well. So much so that I got splashed with some fishy water at one point, but never mind. I will also say, I'll try and insert a photo here just before I go. When we went to the toy shop, first of all, Nelly got told off by the man because she was having a little tantrum, and this very kind man on the checkout could see that I was about to lose my shit, and just turned around and basically said, "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" And she was like that, and then she was absolutely fine, good as gold, and I was just like, thank you so much. So that did make me smile. But also, whilst we went to the toy shop, we did also pop into Pets at Home. I've mentioned before, she is fish obsessed. We go to the pet shop multiple times a month. We've just found a new one, which I think is going to be our new favourite to go to. She's been desperate to see bunnies. None of the Pets at Homes have had them, so I was hoping that this one did. It didn't, but it did have guinea pigs, so I think that kind of helped. However, can I just say, my toddler, being my toddler, was more excited about the fish in the tanks at Pets at Home than she was about the fish at Plymouth Aquarium. And I think that just sums the toddler up perfectly. Like I said, I'll try and insert the photo, but I was literally just stood there thinking, why didn't I just take her to the pet shop for the day and just let her sit there for an hour and watch the fish? It'd have been so much cheaper, so much less stress, and definitely a lot less washing. But never mind. And that's just the mind and the life of a toddler. Overall, I think she had a great day. I think she had lovely birthday celebrations. We enjoyed it as well. It's definitely one to look back on. I will be back next Monday with another vlog. Thank you so much for watching if you got to the end. And thank you so much for all your birthday messages and well wishes on Nellie's birthday over on my social media as well. It really means the world. And I love that you've been on this journey with me for the past 2 years. I can't believe I have a 2-year-old. But she's going to let me know it in a minute, I'm sure. And yeah, I'm going to go now, but I will be back next Monday, like I say, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.